When an artist paints a picture of truth, when veins flow and pulses thicken with inspiration, that's the time to push harder. When your mind races, your heart swells, and you lean in to embrace the chaos, that's when you go further. When you lay yourself bare, all sweat, spirit, and gut. When they tell you that enough is enough, that's the moment you stand tall. Because you know, to live true, there's more to be done. I'm Kirsch Kale, a musician, producer, and composer. Join me in uncovering true stories of real people who have made their passion their lives. This is the Dewarists. There's something in the air in Shillong. It exists in its own bubble, disconnected from the frenzy of the city.
As a kid, I always wanted to come to Shillong because I'd heard that there are lots of rock bands here. Nothing much was happening in Roorkee. So there were a few hours where I ran away from home. The whole idea was to loot someone, get some money with a butter knife, and then come to Shillong.
It redefines reality. What once was naive becomes loaded with meaning. It's probably why musicians thrive here.
When was the first one you wrote?
The first song I wrote?
Yeah.
First song, I think I was still in school. Yeah.
When I was writing in school, I was like, it was my secret project. I didn't tell anyone. Only much later, then I started telling people that I'm writing songs. But how do you give it to them? You recorded the song?
Yeah, recorded it on GarageBand.
When I was recording on tapes in school.
That's so cool, man.
It's quiet is the stuff that sustains our Dewarists today. Their creation in the valleys of Shillong will be debuting at the Bacardi NH7 Weekender. Against lazy clouds balanced on jagged hilltops, our story begins with the strum of a guitar.
On the 5th fret, क्या होता है वो? C, D and C thing that you were playing.
That riff?
You should put some bells.
Yeah, we should put some bells.
You play this and you put some bells in the thing.
As you grow older, I feel a lot of my friends who were in school, I was in school with, I was in college with, they have lost connect with their childhood. They find it naive, they find it stupid. And I feel that that's the most interesting part. Like, why would you want to lose that connect?
In terms of words, we could write about, like how you feel like as musicians, it almost seems like a naive decision to be a musician from a practical point of view. About like naive or careless or reckless hearts.
I'm like a big believer of really putting a lot of effort into the songs themselves and being really particular about words and tunes and how they work together. And Ankur's, like I know he writes with the same sort of commitment to songwriting as I do. I'm hearing like sort of like dheere dheere, like you know, like a like double words.
My father was a professor in the IIT there in Roorkee, so it was like a student town. In those days, obviously, there was no internet and there was no TV. So there was a lot of outdoor activity. In the night, I would bunk home and go. There would be this annual college festival, Thomso. We would go there, try and sneak into the rock night. I wanted to be a lead guitar player with a red electric guitar. So I told my father I want an electric guitar, a red one at that. And my father said that, you know, in Roorkee there was a lot of load shedding. So he said, you should get an acoustic guitar. And I said, that makes logical sense. So I got an acoustic guitar and that probably defined my sound, thanks to the load shedding in Uttar Pradesh.
सामने मैं हूँ, सामने तू, मन में छुपा जो कैसे कहूँ.
I saw this ad in the newspaper for hotel management and it was a fascinating idea to work in an air-conditioned environment. I said, this is it. But it took me around 2 months in college to realize that I'm going to not pursue hotel management, but I forgot to tell that to my parents. Continued enjoying hostel life, which was amazing.
तेरे आने से थम जाती है ज़मीं, रुक जाता है जहाँ.
I recorded a demo in the hostel loop. It had an amazing reverb. I had a very, very well planned out next few months. Come to Bombay, give the tapes to all the music companies, and I'll cut an album. That was the plan. But it didn't work out that well, and I had to leave Bombay because it was really tough. I was living in a chawl with a friend. Obviously, I had not told my parents, and I had to leave Bombay. I went to Delhi.
खामोशी चीज़ है, बड़ी बदतमीज है, बिन बोले भी करती है ये सब बयां.
That's where I found Colonel Kapoor. Colonel Kapoor had made Fauji earlier, launching Shah Rukh Khan, and he had done a lot of interesting work in cinema. I started learning about film because he was making documentaries and I was doing production, I was doing assistant camera, I was doing assistant wardrobe. I was getting like an overall into filmmaking with music as something that I was pegging on. For the first time in my creative life as a professional, I felt that somebody heard me out. And from there on, I was constantly writing songs as well. I was doing jingles for ads, I was doing music for corporate films, etc., etc. I was singing this one song at a friend's living room and somebody said that you should put that song in a film, and I got my cue and I thought that's the way I should make a film. I was working very closely with a friend of mine, Siddharth Anand Kumar. We wrote a script over 3-4 months. I don't know what happened. I think we came to Bombay on 2nd January. By 13th of January, we were back in Delhi with a producer. And the film was happening.
बेखबर मुझसे क्यों हो, इतने बुरे भी हम नहीं.
So I released my first song, Sabse Piche Hum Khade, in Let's Enjoy. And while editing that film, I came to Bombay for my second run. And this time I felt that I can take the city on better than I did last time.
दुनिया की इस भीड़ में सबसे पीछे हम खड़े.
The producers of my film, they were also a music label, HOM Records. And they really liked Sabse Piche Hum Khade. And they said, do you have other songs? I said, yes, I have other songs. I can record them. Yeah, so that's how this mad rat pack, Ankur and the Galat family came together. The foremost thing for me and the most important thing for me is to understand what you're passionate about and just go for it. The only thing I know what to do in life is to tell stories, and that's what I'm going to do all my life, and there's no other way. So there is nothing, so if this doesn't work out, I'm going to do that, that is not there. Because I never believe in plan Bs. For me, I have no other plan. Like, this is what I do, I'll die doing this.
ऐसा कुछ अगर आता है the double. I like the idea what you said, no, that like double, like you're saying.
Because it's got that like sort of like the melody almost demands for it, you know, like it's got that momentum of like.
So this something like this has come like you know like थोड़ी थोड़ी है सबकी सुनी. This is like, you know, I was playing for a few years and it felt quite lonely because I was not hearing a similar sound, and when I heard Prateek's sound, the first feeling that came to me was, you know, there's someone else with a similar sound like mine, and I was really happy when I heard it.
I actually was a really bad singer initially, and one of my closest friends tells me that you used to really suck when you initially started. Like I could just barely sing. Over the years, my voice got a little better and I had a little bit more control. And even now, I think I can just like sing decently well enough to like stay in pitch.
थोड़ी थोड़ी है सबकी सुनी, थोड़ा कुछ तो सबने कहा, थोड़ा थोड़ा समझा भी मगर दिल ये.
Jaipur just had no scene at all. So it was just, there was no inspiration. There was nobody to like sort of look to for direction or anything. We were the only people who even had a band, I think, pretty much. We didn't know anybody else who really had a band that was doing the kind of stuff that we were doing. While I was in college in New York, I wrote songs as a coping mechanism, as a way to like sort of just, it was like downtime for me. It was a way to express myself and, you know, sort of just let it all out and deal with stuff.
And why did you take my heart away? This love is just a winter ahead.
So around this time is when I met my manager Dhruv Singh, and you know, he liked some of the demos that I had, and pretty much we decided to start working together. And we were both sort of doing this on the side and decided to just sort of, you know, do this as our side passion projects, with me being a musician and he wanting to run a label and start a label.
Will swallow us in.
Then the really bad EP happened. That was the start of it, and we did a really soft, and it took a long time, and it was 3 songs. It took like a day to record, or I think 2 days, a day and a half, and it took like 8 months to mix because it was just so much back and forth. After obsessing over every little detail that we could, we finally released it, I think in August or September of 2011. I worked for a bit right when college ended at a consulting firm, and I was miserable, and I'd decided that I'd work for 1 year exactly. So I decided July 2013 I'm going to quit and do music for an year and see how it goes. You know, just give it a shot. In 2012 is when I recorded that video of Raat Razi, me playing that song live, and it was done really DIY. I just put up a mic that I had and literally stacked up a bunch of books because I didn't have a stand, and just balanced my iPhone on it, and then like recorded the audio, and we just synced it with the video. And I recorded that video, sent it to Dhruv, and he was like, oh, this is really cool, we should put it out. And then he was like, wait, let me send it to somebody and try to see if we can get it featured somewhere.
अंधेरे का ये जाल है या सांझ की चाल है ये आईना.
And that got a little attention. A lot of people started listening to it, talking about it. And that same year, I also got booked for the Bacardi NH7 Weekender. And I rarely enjoy my live shows. Like every now and then a gig comes along which like is a pleasant experience, but even that's not something that I feel ecstatic about. For me, the thing that sort of keeps me going is the songwriting part. That when you get that new song that you kind of feel like, you know, you've given your everything to, and it's never perfect, but when it even comes close to being that, that's when you feel really like great about it. The sky is super blue, man. It's like a different blue. It's really nice. The clouds always are what get me about like different places. It's so strange how they always
Different, right?
look different and
Meghalaya,
where you
the meaning,
are.
right?
Yeah,
Just like exactly.
yeah. It's all about the clouds, yeah.
So last year when we were here on the way to the Weekender, we got lost. People are so nice because this one guy on a bike, he literally showed us the way right through the Weekender. He didn't have to go there. It's really sweet people.
That's crazy.
Even the crowd here is quite lovely. Like they sing along, they want to like you. I think also like the idea of the song should be that it should also stay kind of generic and not be very specific.
Yeah.
So that it can, you know, various people can find their own kind of stories to it.
थोड़ी क्या है words?
थोड़ी थोड़ी
है सबकी सुनी, थोड़ा कुछ तो सबने कहा, थोड़ा थोड़ा समझा भी मगर दिल ये माने कहा. And I think here you should just pause and just everything should be quiet, like production
Come with
shouldn't be
the-
like Dil Beparvah. Dil Beparvah. That's cool, man. I think we can definitely build something around this.
सबकी सुनी, थोड़ा कुछ तो सबने कहा, थोड़ा थोड़ा समझा भी मगर दिल ये माने कहा. बस इसकी जिद है दिल बेफिक्र लापता. कैसी ये धुन है खोकर भी कुछ ना मिला. इस दिल की आदत यही है, गिर कर संभलता नहीं है, जालिम समझता नहीं है ये कोई जुबान. दिल बेपरवाह, कतरा कतरा हो गया, दिल ये बिखरता गया. सी ये धुन है, खोकर भी कुछ ना मिला। इस दिल की आदत यही है, गिर कर संभलता नहीं है, जालिम समझता नहीं है ये कोई जुबान। ये दिल बेपरवाह, इस दिल की आदत यही है, गिर कर संभलता नहीं है, जालिम समझता नहीं है ये कोई जुबान। ये दिल बेपरवाह।